Hi, folks. So today I want to start by uh, questioning a belief that many people carry without really ever realizing that they're doing it. And that's the idea that if you're going to get healthier or fitter, get into better shape, um, then if it feels easy, it's not really working. So unless it's hurting, unless it's exhausting, Um, unless it demands you to be fixated with constant discipline and willpower, it can't possibly be taking you anywhere meaningful, anywhere towards the goal and things you want to achieve. So, for a lot of people on a weight loss program or a health journey, this belief can run really deep. Um, and the reason for that is because in our society, struggle has been normalized as the thing that's required to achieve long-term success. If it feels hard, we think, good, I must be doing it properly. If it feels light or manageable, we worry that we're just not doing enough. So I want in this video to reframe that. And the reframe is that ease is often the first sign you stop working against your body. So from a point of view of health and well-being, it's a good signal. And in the email that I sent out that accompanies this, I mentioned swimming, someone learning to swim. Way back in the day, I trained as a swimming teacher, and so I experienced this quite a lot. And of course, I at one point learned to swim. Um, And if you go to a swimming pool, you'll see this happening. And it's worth doing because you'll get a better understanding of this. So think about someone learning to swim. Think about when you learned to swim for the first time. You get in the pool. Hopefully, you're not in the deep end, uh, and see what actually happens. Well, often it's a child, but it could be an adult. They splash around. They tense up. They hold their breath. They're using huge amounts of energy in order not for them to sink, to keep themselves above the water. Their arms become frantic, their legs are rigid. The whole system, the whole body is resisting. And from the outside, it looks like a lot of effort. It looks like hard work. But at some point in time, something shifts. And there's a moment um, and if you've ever learned to swim, you'll recognize it. When the person realizes the water can actually hold them, it holds them up and they can lie back, they soften, and they stop fighting. And something surprising happens. The body floats, the breathing settles, movement becomes smooth. And here's the key point. Nothing changed about the water and nothing changed about the swimmer. The only thing that changed was the level of resistance. Now, this is particularly true when it comes to light minds, because in light minds, in terms of losing weight and getting in great shape, we don't talk about what you need to do. And one of the things when you're teaching swimming is it's about creating the environment for the person, the child or an adult, to relax and stop resisting. That's the critical thing. It's not providing more information. We're not talking about the techniques of where your legs should be, what you should be doing with your arms. They're all there and they will come to improve your ability as a swimmer. But actually, the basic fundamentals are not about that. They're about stopping the resistance and allowing the flow to come through you that's actually there. This is what we refer to in Light Minds as your innate intelligence. Your innate intelligence will keep you on the surface of the water. And it's the same thing when you're setting out to achieve lasting health, getting into great shape. It's not about battling your body. It's not about forcing extreme plans or punishing workouts, following rigid rules, all these things that require effort. But it's about working with your system instead of against it. That's the critical thing. You have the natural ability flowing through you to be in great shape, to live, to create the body that's required to live a really great, fulfilling life. You have all you need. And when you stop resisting, hunger begins to regulate quite naturally. Energy improves without being forced. Movement starts to feel more intuitive. And progress generally becomes something you build, not something you're trying to survive. So in Light Minds, I have people say to me, I didn't have to fight that urge. I just didn't feel like overeating. I didn't force myself. It just made sense. Now, these people didn't become stronger, which is in our cultures, that's what we think happens. They built resilience. No, resilience is there all the time. They became less resistance. That's the important thing. You see, ease doesn't mean you're doing less. Ease means you're no longer leaking energy through resistance. What do I mean by that? Well, think about how exhausting it is to constantly argue with yourself. I should do this. I must do that. Um, I failed again. I need to get more willpower. That internal friction that's going on burns more energy than the behavior itself. When resistance softens, the energy becomes available. And in that space, consistency becomes much easier. Not something that you have to learn to do, it just naturally follows. Habits stick without forcing them, without discipline. And momentum grows quietly but powerfully. And then you get the swimmer gliding through the water instead of thrashing around. So from a practical side, try this and just try it out for yourself. And it doesn't have to work, it doesn't have to go anywhere, but just try it out. Okay. Um, take the easiest version up your next healthy step, whatever that is, whatever you're trying to do. So, what I mean by that is the next thing you think you need to do, just do it, but make it the easy one, not the perfect one, not the heroic one, the simplest one. So, instead of working out, and you choose what this is. So I'm just going to give you some ideas, but you choose what it is. Instead of doing a hard workout, go for a walk. And then, as you're doing it, and when you've finished it, tap into how you feel. Um, think about just, if you're blocked or something like that, think about having a nourishing meal instead of starting again tomorrow, doing something, just one meal. Um, the thing to think about when you do this is to consider the kind choice instead of the perfect corrective one. Okay? Just what seems easy to do. That's all. And you might be surprised that when something feels doable, how repeatable it also feels. And when it feels repeatable, it becomes sustainable. And in that, change happens. When things that you want to do become sustainable, you will keep doing them, but they might be small. The other thing that's really important, and I keep emphasizing in the Light Minds program, this is an ongoing journey. This isn't a fixed goal. We make, that's what I call toxic goals. This is an ongoing journey to discover good health. And to do it in a sustainable way, you don't want to be fighting it. Your system already knows how to move forward, um, how to achieve balance. But it knows that when it's not being pushed around or punished. That sounds weird, but when you're in your head and you're pushing and you're forcing, you're efforting, that's kind of overriding the natural system that every one of us has. That when we tap into that, it's surprising what we achieve and it becomes easy. See, just like the water already knows how to hold you, once you stop fighting it, your system does. It knows how to hold you. So give it a go, ease off, go lightly, and see what happens. Thanks very much.